Welcome to My Love of Life Energy. I'm Anna Scott, your host. I love beautiful, rich conversations that reveal the truth, beauty, and uniqueness of each person I meet, and I'm honored to share them with you. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I am deeply honored to have Tania Barney with me. Welcome, Tania.
Hi, Anna. So delighted to be here.
So Tania is the founder and creator of Radical Positivity, which is a nonprofit out of the UK. And I don't know Tania except for the 15-minute conversation I just had with her. And I've already been deeply impacted. And I'm just the being and presence that you are. So you found me. Do you want to share a little bit about how you found me first?
Yeah, sure. And I'd really love to share that story because I really respect and appreciate and value the work that you're doing. So I heard about your podcast through a program. I watched a recording that you had spoken on, and I was like, hey, that sounds really interesting. She's all about seeing, celebrating, witnessing other people. And I was like, that's what we're about too. And
Mm.
so, when I listened to that, I was like, wow, the brilliance I see in Anna is her ability to really capture the essence of people, to kind of cut through to the core of them and to bring out the best in them. And after that, I was like, please, can I come on your podcast? Because I just really loved how you interviewed other people. And so I reached out to you.
Thank you. Well, I can tell you, thank you. I really want to receive that. And tell me about radical positivity and how did it come into being?
Sure, I'll try and keep it brief.
No, there's
It's
just
a
have
long
fun with
story,
it.
but I think so. Firstly, for me, radical positivity is a feminine elevation movement, and I'm sure, look, probably the language is really familiar to many of your listeners. But just to be really clear, we're not talking about men or women. We're talking about energy, so masculine and feminine energy or aspects of awareness that we have both in all of us. Just, I think that's good to clarify that, just so everyone
Yeah.
knows that what we're talking about. Um, and so we're really about elevating the feminine, but not by bringing the masculine down or pulling it down, denigrating, emasculating, any of those things. But really, I think we see in the world that the masculine is dominant. That's the reality of a patriarchal society. And so it's really about bringing elevating the feminine up to match in strength and
Mhm.
value and presence. And the belief that if we can do that, we can actually change the world. That in a balanced society, within balance within the individual and balance in the wider world, we'd come at things so differently. We'd find different solutions to problems. We'd bring in softer relational nature. We'd bring in more complexity. And that to me would really change the world.
Oh my
Um,
God. How did you come to this? How did you walk into this doorway?
yeah, do you know, it's been a very long process. I, for a long time, felt that I needed to scoop up all who I was and what I'd built and developed to myself and point in a different direction. And for such a long time, I tried to get there with my head and try to figure it out. Like, what is it? Like, what's my purpose? What am I here to do? And I really didn't find that a very successful or helpful process. But I was very, very frustrated of not being able to find a way. And I remember it was actually 3 years ago now that I was in a sol it was a solstice session that was kind of an end of year reflection. I'd been in a really deep process for about 3 hours. And I think the final journaling was like, what big, bold action are you going to take into the next year? And I actually wrote radical positivity.
Oh, wow.
And then and then the session left and I put it away and walked out. And I was like, I came back to it and I'm like, what even is that? Um, and so I really then spent the next 2 years just letting that unfold within me. That started, first of all, thinking about actually how things would change if women saw and celebrated each other, how that would lead to more agency and impact in the world. So it sort of evolved from there. And I had a coaching session and I was talking to a woman with it, and she was like, well, what if that happened, Tanya? If you saw this vision fully realized, like what would happen from there? And I was like, well, the whole world would change. Like
Oh,
the
my God.
whole world would be different. Uh, And I could see, the way that women would relate differently, would have more agency, that then they would have access to more power, to more influence and more impact, and that would just ripple and ripple and ripple. And
Mm.
so it really started from that question about what would be possible from that place. And then I think the other really key aspect for me was thinking about, well, like women aren't bad. They don't do this on purpose. Like, what is it that is stopping women from doing this, and realizing that that was the system that we live in, that a system shaped by patriarchal norms often has women in survival and in competing with each other.
Mm.
And that, so to even have that realization, we also needed to do work around transforming patriarchy.
You were saying that on your website that that is not on there. Can you speak more to that and what you see?
Sure. We're piloting a program at the moment that is about the transformation of internalized patriarchy.
Mm.
And
Wow. Hold
uh,
on a second. So, um, you, sorry, you just have to pause for a second because
oh,
when you said that, it pierced my heart. And I can feel that you know something about this so deeply that patriarch isn't the system outside of us, but how we are internally living. That's what I just heard.
yeah,
And we're so unaware of it.
yeah. And it's actually really hard to see it. It I often talk about it as patriarchy is the sea that we're swimming in. And like the fish doesn't see the water.
So how do you, there's a question here.
Sure.
Give me a second because really it's already impacted me.
Yeah.
Um, how does one become aware of that sea? What do you see? Like, what do you see about this sea? Like, there's more, like, share with me what you see.
Yeah. I mean, I think firstly is just to acknowledge that like patriarchy is everywhere. It
Could you describe what patriarchy is? Because we use those
yeah,
words and everybody has their own thought created reality. So I'd like
yeah,
you to define it to how you see it.
yeah. So for me, patriarchy is about the valuing or overvaluing of the mass of men, and also the masculine traits over the feminine, that lead to an imbalance of power in our structures and systems.
And so, what are those traits so we can get really clear and specific so
Yeah.
people can see them?
Yeah. I mean, for me, one of the things that I've looked at a lot is how I have valued the masculine over the feminine in myself. So,
Mm.
for example, I mean, I've had quite a successful career. But to do that, I've had to use logic and strategy and push energy and goal setting and kind of just going in a single direction. So to me, all of those are masculine traits, and they're important and they're necessary. As I said, it's not about bringing the masculine down or denigrating in any way. But sometimes that's been at the cost of just simply being, just valuing existence, of connecting with my intuition, letting my head rule my heart or my gut instinct on things,
Mm.
pushing myself to perform and achieve, seeing my validation in the things that I externally produce. So I think it shows up in ways like that.
What I'm sensing from you, Tania, is that like this, what I'm seeing right now in the moment is all these shackles being released.
Yeah.
Is that what's been your experience?
Yeah, I think it's a really profound experience to see that. That's often accompanied by sometimes a lot of shame initially,
Mm.
unnecessary shame. It just, to think, oh my goodness, I did that to myself. I did that to other people, to other women potentially. Um, but then I think, after seeing that is the recognition that actually awareness is the beginning of change.
Mm.
Like, and until you can see it, you can't start to do something different.
It's so interesting because so much is like trying to change the external structures. And what I know to be true is that when I work on myself all of my life, when I go internal and change it inside, all of life changes on the outside. And that's what you're pointing to.
Yeah, that whole idea that we're the microcosm of the macrocosm.
Mm.
And so as you've just said, if we want to create change, it needs to start inside. I think it's so easy to say, oh, the patriarchy out there, without looking at how we've actually taken on some of those values and beliefs and social norms. And not because we're bad people, because, we did it. We were socialized into it. It's in our education system to be safe, to fit in, to not make a noise, not stand out, or, we did it for good reason. Um, but I think that if we create that change within ourselves, then it will ripple out.
Tanya, what's so beautiful, what I'm experiencing with you as I sit with you, is there's no judgment about it. I
No.
just feel this total unconditional love,
Mm.
just like a seeing and awareness of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I don't think it's something to judge, because like what if no one's to blame here?
That's radical positivity
That is radical positivity.
in action. It's live right now. But what it does for me, and why I'm sharing this, because if it's doing it for me, it's going to do it for every other people, is
Mhm.
what I sense is that um, you provide such a safe place for people to be honest and see it.
Yeah, that safety is such a key aspect for us, about what does create the safety to do that. And I know we were having a little we were trying to lighten it in the course just recently, and just saying, when you see that you've perpetuated patriarchy, that we should kind of do a little happy dance, and that you noticed it.
Yes. Oh
Not
my
that you did
gosh.
it necessarily, but like that you noticed it, because
Oh my
because you
God. You,
kind of want to open up the circuits of like the reward circuits to keep seeing it, rather than going, oh no, it's so bad that I did that. We just
I,
really want to flip the switch on it.
what you're doing is so radical and it's positive. And I want to thank you because I can feel it in my bones. Because the tendency in in me, and I in me, and if it's in me, it's got to be other places, is to see it and then go to shame
Yeah,
or guilt.
yeah,
And what you've done is what you're offering is a different path through it.
yeah,
It's like we see it and then we collapse, or I collapse. And what you're saying is, no, you see it, congratulate yourself.
yeah, yeah. I think the other thing, Anna, that's really important that I think makes a huge difference is doing it in community.
Mm. Say more.
So I think because I think that is quite a natural tendency to see things and then to go into the shame or guilt or collapse. But when there are other people holding the space of acceptance, that everything is welcome here, you're welcome here, all parts of you are welcome here, that they can actually help to hold that in the relational field and then to start to witness and celebrate so that it actually helps everybody to work with it. And I think what's really interesting, this we're exploring this week what it's cost us, like what has internalized patriarchy costed an individual level.
Mm.
And I know one woman wrote a huge list of points and then she shared them and she thought that only she felt that. So I think some of these things we don't talk about. And so to hear that actually this experience is far more universal than we realize actually really helps to provide support as well.
It it's so profound what you're and beautiful, Tanya, what you're offering. It's how did you see the balance of the masculine and feminine energy?
Hmm. I think that balance is dynamic, first of all. Like, I don't think that balance is fixed.
Mhm.
So I think that balance needs to be in response to the certain situation. For example, if I'm going shopping and time is tight, like I kind of think you could go shopping and do the same shopping from a masculine or a feminine approach. So if I had a masculine approach, I would maybe have my list and I would be like, right, I'm making dinner and these are the things on my list. And I'm going to go to the supermarket and walk around the supermarket and go through that list and that's the time that I've got and I'm going to use that approach. But I could go to the supermarket and go shopping from a more feminine approach where I just go into the supermarket and go, let me feel into my body. What does my body feel like eating today? Let me just kind of like wander around the supermarket and meander and just see what I feel drawn to and what calls to me. So they both get shopping done. But I think we don't always have time. I think time is one of the greatest challenges for being in the feminine because it is more expansive and more fluid. Um,
Can I share an experience I
yeah.
just had right before this call? It it's I had done my thing and went shopping, blah 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 blah, and I hadn't taken a shower yet, and I thought, oh, I've got 12 minutes, and I started to feel that push energy, and because of the time, and I thought, Anna, you could relax and enjoy this and get it done and have everything done. And I
Yeah.
did. And I took a shower and I changed and put on lipstick and mascara and put my clothes away and got here right at 11 o'clock from that energy.
Wow. Amazing.
But I hadn't had why I'm telling you the story, and I think it's relevant, is I didn't have the diagnostics between the masculine and feminine. And when you say it, I can clearly see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
And that's, I think, what you're pointing to is the C. I didn't know. I mean, I was aware, but I didn't have language for it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that does make sense. And as I was saying, I think too, like the balance is a dynamic thing. It's not like I don't think you find a place of balance and then you just remain there. Like there are days when I am far more in my masculine because
Mhm.
I'm working and I'm doing things. But I think for me it's about having touch points of connection. So firstly, when I'm going into the meeting, for example, to feel into the relational field a bit more, to kind of get a sense of
Mm.
where the people are at, or to sometimes I have dance movement breaks. If I'm at the computer a lot. So I actually get back into my body. I think for me, that's one of the things that happens when I'm going more strongly and spend too much time in much stronger masculine energy, is that it's so
Mm.
easy to become disembodied.
It's
That like
interesting.
we lose that felt sense of actually being in our body. So to do something to get back in the
Mm.
body. Um, and also, I think as a counterbalance, I actually have being days
Oh,
where
that's interesting. Say that. I love that.
so I block out a day in my calendar to be. So I just have a day that with no fixed plan, no agenda, and I just get up and just go with what I'm drawn to and what I want to do, or how I want to be more really that day, what I want to experience, how I want to feel, and just let that guide me rather than a list of the things I'm going to do today.
Oh, Tanya, this is so beautiful. The energy that you're speaking from, I can feel it. It's so much, it's so spacious, that being,
Yeah. Yeah.
so receptive.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think what's really interesting to me is the way that the masculine and the feminine can provide containers for each other. So sometimes that I find like having that structure of like putting a date, to me that's a bit of a masculine quality
Mhm.
about providing structure, boundaries, a container. But to do that then actually allows the feminine to flow within that without
Mm.
constraint. So, or the other thing that I'll do sometimes, if I'm with a friend and I just want the conversation to be allowed to completely flow, is that I set a timer for when I have to leave. Like if I've got a fixed end time, I have a fixed end time. But then again, that's a structure that allows me to just relax, knowing that someone else is taking care of the time.
Mhm.
And then the conversation can flow in an undirected and open and spacious way.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, kind of like this. I have no idea what the time is or how long we've been talking for.
I have the timer. I know that. I
Oh,
have
good.
that. But it's so beautiful for the structure that you've put this together and the clarity. Like I really see the power of the masculine of by having language and labels. So there's markers to identify.
Yeah, and I think that's what I said, what I said at the earlier on is that I don't think this is about pulling down the masculine qualities because they're important and we need them. It's just to me that they're overdeveloped and in many cases over dominant.
And here's this beautiful, beautiful other energy.
Yeah.
Did you study martial arts something or something like Tai Chi or
A long time ago.
I was going to say you must have,
Um, Yeah, I did Tai Chi, but I mean, it was such a long time ago. Um,
but it's interesting in your body or the way you're speaking about it has such fluidity between the two energies. And that's what's so interesting. It's there's a harmonizing of them.
well, Anna, thank you so much for noticing.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
be, be,
gorgeous.
because it's this didn't happen as a natural process for me, I kind of did the work to get here as well because I recognized how much I was in my masculine, and that it wasn't supporting me, and that it and also that that's so common for women.
Mhm. Well, it's so common for men.
It's so common for men, yeah. And
There are men.
and that's the other thing that I think is really important to say, um, is that, I feel that my work is very much working with women and then about, how can women thrive in a world that is shaped around masculine norms.
Mhm.
At the same time, I don't think women hold the monopoly on being harmed by patriarchy.
No, I know that.
Yeah. I think patriarchy hurts men just as much as women, if maybe more. It's not a competition. Um, it's just I don't like that's just not my work to do.
Mm. No, that
I
is
think
part of
it's
my work.
really important. I think it's really important.
Yeah, it's beautiful though, because but there's a fluidity um, that you have with the energy. Like I feel the emptying and filling
Okay.
that
I,
you can do so naturally.
okay. Thank you.
Does that
Yeah, I'm just gonna let
resonate?
that land. I'm gonna let that land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like it, it's like there's enough we were talking about because we had both been done through Wellstream, like that working light.
Hmm.
And I can see really that's the filling in. It like there's not so much Tanya. It's like life is filling you with the masculine and feminine naturally and working light.
Yeah, I think working light has probably helped with that. Yeah.
I mean that and 10,000 other things you've done.
Yeah, a combination. But I think it's really interesting because when someone suggested to me, say 5 years ago, that I could just put aside some time to be, I was so resistant to it. I was like, "Are you crazy? I like just time to be. Like I've got too much to do. I can't just be." So it definitely has been an evolving developmental journey for me. And I think it starts with actually even wanting to value the feminine.
Well, and I think that's even before that. This is an opinion.
Hmm.
It's even seeing that it's there.
Well, yeah, yeah, true.
Like, like, what do
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah,
You have to know something's there before you value it,
yeah, that is true.
and then to see what it does.
Mm.
And that's what's so beautiful about you is that to me is the embodiment of both. But it's the whole self. Oh God, I just saw it. Oh God, it's the embodiment of your whole self. You get to have you.
Yeah, but isn't that what we all want?
Right?
I
I,
think,
I've never
when
said
at
that
our
to anybody, but I
core,
have no idea. I'm like, holy schmoly.
I just kind of like feel a little, I feel that, like the vibration of that ringing true, that, I think maybe that's what everyone wants, just to be able to be fully who they are as their essence.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's that, oh, I want to be connected to my whole self,
Yeah,
all of it.
yeah.
All right, Tanya, we are coming to the end, which I can't, I've had so much fun.
Me too.
So, Tanya, how do people find your website? This will be on the list, but I want, if they're hearing and they want to catch it right now.
Yeah, I think obviously we have our website, which is radicalpositivity.org. And I think if people want to experience a taste of the work that we're doing, we hold a monthly free online event called Saturday Salon. And we explore a different topic each month. We really focus on creating a safe space for women to come in and just explore topics like this. In fact, coming up next month is living in balance. Um, and the last month we explored self-love as radical self-acceptance. So yeah, it's a different topic, but all related to living in balance and elevating the feminine. So that would be a good way for people to, I think, kind of find us and have a taste, kind of dip their toe and see if it's a good fit for them and if it resonates.
Well, I can say if this was ice cream and I had just tasted it, I'd want to get the whole scoop. would be like, sign me up, baby.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tanya. So much love to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. It's been a delight to
Yeah,
spend this time and space with you.
yeah. Thank you.